Hello guys, Otaku Man here, and let's start. This is a fan fiction. I actually did not made it, so it's a fan made. It's a fan made, so yeah. The fan made story is called "The Sage of the Seven Path." Chapter One. In the gloomy dark bar of Tanzuki town, Tsunade, the last of the Senju, was celebrating. She had won so much money today at the gambling halls that not only she could actually pay off her gambling debt much to Shizune's pleasure, but she still had enough left over to drink herself silly, much to Shizune's current displeasure. Tsunade Hime, we really should go. I have a bad feeling about this, Shizune pleaded while the trying to pull the woman away from her sake. Come on, Shizune-chan, let's have a little fun. I haven't won this much in ages. Tsunade gripped the table so tight that her finger had accidentally cracked the wood. She was chonging, sorry, she was sucking, she was literally drinking the sake as she paused to think what happened to the last time as she won big. Well, not since not since before now. Oh crap! Sunada suddenly cried. Why did you suddenly say did you say something earlier? We have to leave before something terrible happened. As Sunada tried to stagger upright, a new voice called out from the shadow behind her. I'm afraid you're too late for this. You're too late for that, Hime. The newcomer answered. As he pushed Tsunade back into her chair, the stranger stepped into the light, revealing the large man, easily a foot taller than Tsunade, with his hidden geta. Even taller if you contain his spiky wild hair, which as he kept up his face as a hentai head sponged with a kanji for oil, as he was Joraya, the Gamma Senin. The most unusual, his face showed barely contained rage. Jorah, what are you doing here? Let me go. Immediately, Tsunade struggled to raise her from a chair, but Emma's amount of sake as she drank prevented her from actually standing. I'm sorry, Hime, but I needed you to return to Konoha. Sensei is in coma and my apprentice is on dead door. Only you can save them now. Jorah was now in front of Tsunade, blocking her path in front of the door as his arms are crossed in his chest, fearsome scowl on his face. Your apprentice and sensei, I don't care. Konoha doesn't deserve. Before Tsunade could finish her sentence, Jorah slammed his fist onto the table, causing the psyche jump into the air before breaking. When they landed on the table, other rating off the tables and shattering on the floor. Konoha can burn. It came out as a snarl. Jiraiya had lost control of what he had. His face twisted into fearsome wishes of hate and anger. His eyes glowing with rage, shattered by his sudden fury. Let's say startled by his sudden fury. An appointment for hate. Sorry, started by sudden fury and hate for a place had always protected from the shadow. Tsunade fell backward as a chair in her haste escaped. Joraya, what happened to you? She whispered. Behind Joraya, she saw a platform platform of bar running for their life, leaving her alone deal with the piece of Sanin. This year, Konoha hosted Chunin exam Tsunade. Jura's cold tone was a lack of a usual hime made her flinch. 4 days ago, during the third test, Suna and Oto invaded Konoha. They were led by Orochimaru Teime, and during the fight, Sensei was trapped in the barrier with the Teime, while my apprentice was lured away to fight the Shibako no Gara, the Junchuriki of the One Tails. And one tail. My apprentice won, but injured during the fight. As Jiraiya paused for a breath. Tsunade stood and sat back in a chair. And Sensei, how did he end up in a coma? Tsunade asked curiously while sailing for the time, trying to figure out a way to escape from her current predicament. I was getting to that. See, my apprentice saw the barrier go up before his fight with the Ichibi, and when it was over, he rushed back to the arena without stopping rest or even bandage his wound. At last, all this word, Sonade stopped and wondered who is this mysterious apprentice who was so reckless and foolish to go on a life and death struggle to another while possibly bleeding to death without even trying to stop bleeding. Fortunately, he made it to the barrier in time to see the beginning of the suicide jutsu Sensei was using. He managed to do something to dispute barrier and get inside. He saved Sensei's life, but Sensei fell into a coma because of the jutsu. What about Apprentice? Were his injury from the Ichibi really that bad you needed me? Sonata doubted that it was all simple as that. No, actually, during the medical scan, the medical found several deep issue scales and they are interfering with his recovery. I can remove them until he's headed. But the sh- but the sh- but the surgeon claimed that they can help until I remove the seal. Deep tissue seal. How long they were there for to prevent that medic from healing him? I mean, they have to be there for a year to affect someone that much. A frown, a frown appeared on Sonata as she frowned. She stopped to ponder for a moment. How old is your student? I thought at first you might train in Kakashi, but the seal would definitely have been noticed during the time in Anbu. But to think anyone else you want to train. Lost in deep thought, she almost didn't hear Jiraiya clear his throat and continue. He's 12, almost 13. Before he could continue, Tsunade cut in. Why are you training the last of the Uchiha? I thought you hated to train the so-called geniuses. I'm not training that Kami forsaken spoiled brat. But if you have to let me finish my sentence, you would have realized the last person he could be is the Uchiha Sasuke. Jorah cut in with a grumble. As I was saying, I'm not sure if Surgi are telling me the truth about not being able to treat him before I remove the seal. And after the third attempt of poisoning his meal, I was tempted to raise the hospital and take him with me to get you. So not startled by the news, and the doctor and the nurse in the Kono hospital were trying to kill someone who apparently saved them from the rampaging monster as well as a giant Tanuki, and you just left him there even after all this assassination attempt that someone could actually leave, someone could claim try to be saved in such a cause, and look disbelief spread across her face. Actually, I left Kakashi and Asuma there. And you just left him there even after all those assassination attempts. That was someone that could actually leave someone they claim trying to save in such situation. Cause look, Tsunade to disbelief spread across Tsunade's space. Actually, I left Kakashi and Asuma there, and Scott and Ambu guarding him. Kakashi and his Junin and Asuma sense Asuma Kakashi is a Junin. Kakashi is his Jonin sensei, and Asuma is sensei's son, so he would be safe until I get back home tomorrow. What makes you think I'm coming back? Tsunade shouted at Jiraiya. I hate Konoha. I never want to see it again. Nothing worth going there. Before she could build up steam for her rant, Jiraiya held up a hand. Listen up, Senju. Jorah growled at Tsunade, dropping all the peasant and showing how pissed off he really was. Danzo and the civilian council have already tried to order his execution there 3 times since the battle. Once every council meeting, the reason hasn't happened already. In fact, the Shinobi Council is terrified of what Sensei would do to them if they let the motion pass, or trying to pay Naruto back by saving their asses. Danzo has already make the council to make him Hokage. If Danzo able to become Hokage, oh no, I cannot even think what will happen. Shocked by the use of a last name, Tsunade didn't even notice that Jiraiya let slip his apprentice name. What do you expect me to do? Become Hokage? Because only fools want to become Hokage, and I have no intention of dying for Konoha, especially after you told me. She was standing up too. She was standing up too. Fist clenched at her side. Her face was red with anger. Instead of with drunk, every year of even years of practice, Tsunade angry was a sight to behold. Then you better hope that you can heal Sensei. If anything happens to Naruto, anything at all, I will personally hunt you down and kill you with my own two hands. The killing intent Jorah radiated was so intense that Shizuna on the fishy floor was gasping. And even Tsunade has fallen on her knees. Jura, what happened to you? Tsunade thought as tears began to fall from her eye. Didn't you say you love me? What could have happened to make you so cruel? Jura seemed to be loom larger and larger over her. The light grew dim. As soon as she could see it was his silhouette, his eyes glowing in the dark. There was something click in her mind. Did he say Naruto was his apprentice? That cannot be common name. Does he mean? A light grew dim as she coughed. Did you say Naruto? As suddenly it came, the killing intent was gone. The back to normal. Jiraiya's face suddenly creased to worry. I'm sorry, him. I was upset all about. I forgot you didn't know my apprentice was. Jiraiya rubbed the back of his neck sleeplessly. I thought you were refusing to help me because you know the burden he bear. He stepped forward to help Tsunade up. I'm sorry about losing those seal of for 6 years since being in a coma, and the woman that I love refused to help me. It was just too much in the end. Jura sat down heavily, placed his head on his palm and wept. As he wept, his grandson, who was hooked up so many machines there were barely space in the hospital room. As he kept as he wept for his sensei, they didn't wake up, and as he wept himself after, afraid that he would lost everything, everyone, and everyone that mattered to him in less than a week. Tsunade was afraid. She never seen Jiraiya like this before, so angry, a minute and weeping like a little girl. Not really knowing what to do, she placed a hand on his shoulder and said, why not tell me exactly what happened to the way back? After all, I'm going to help anybody. I need to know full story. Yes, it does. Now help me get Jiraiya up so we can move on. Brushing the last of the tears out of his eyes, Jiraiya gave Tsunade a watery smile. Thanks, but I can stand my own. We have to hurry. We have to hurry back before something bad happens to him. I'll tell you the story. We move on. Behind him, she was in a quick crick and an eyeball. Most people I sorry. Well, guess I should start from what most people would call Naruto's life. Most people, what do you mean by that? Jurachakal actually Naruto's claim is the most important day to his life, which some makes the best day of his life. All he says good doesn't happen present, and once hit the rock bottom, you can only way go upright, right? Well, I guess it was start to the morning of Naruto's I guess it all started the morning of Naruto's 7th birthday. Konoha. 5 years, 9 month, 60 days ago, 6 days ago. It hurt. Oh, Kami, it hurt. He never felt those like this before. He never felt fear like this before. Never felt pain like this before. Each moment was going agonizing. Kunai's Kunai shuriken grappling against bone. The porcupine, head of the porcupine on his shoulder as he glass bottle in his gut. Each breath was fire before the broken rib. Each awkward shifting step was torture. The slash through his thighs and practically humsting before he couldn't stop. How could he hear them gaining every second as he was still? He could see the glow on their touches, to hear the shout screams, people crying for his blood, smell sack and the breath, and once again, dizzy wave terror descended upon him. He only one thing could do, he ran. Now to have been looking forward to this day over a year. He was finally a whole 7 years old. He could actually finally buy himself a set of practice kunai and shuriken. He needed as much as practice as he could. Next year he would finally be allowed to enter the ninja academy. Maybe if he was good enough, people would stop giving him those hateful looks. And there was going to be the festival tonight. Maybe If he was lucky, the matron of the orphanage would let him go to celebrate with everyone. Shikamaru had told him about it yesterday at the park. He is like a he liked Shikamaru. Shikamaru was lazy to really to hate anyone. Sometime he would sit and watch clouds with him for hours. One day he seemed really lucky to see Choji too. Choji would give him a few of his chips, and his loved chips. He never had got any snacks in the orphanage, and sit and enjoy the brazier. Maybe he would see Shikamaru and Choji at the festival today if he couldn't wait. As those thoughts raced to Naoto's head as he bounded up to the orphanage back step, as he rushed to the Martin office. Skidding to stop just in front of the door, Naoto took a deep breath and calmed himself, politely knocking on the door. "Come in." The Martin called out in a sweet voice as Naoto timidly opened the door. Martin saw who was doing. "Oh, it's you. What do you want, brat?" The Martin was a large, friendly looking woman most of the time. But whenever she saw Naoto, her voice grew cold, her eyes hard. Deep scowl appeared on her face. You see, it's my birthday today, and I heard there is a festival tonight. Naoto shouted out while the Martin glared at him. Before he could continue, the Martin interrupted. "I expect you want to go." "Well, I'm afraid you aren't allowed to go. Besides, today is your chore day, as I am sure you know." Naruto looked upset, but everyone else get their birthdays off. Why can't I? If I can really go to the festival, at least let me have a day off. Naruto pleaded, trying to look pitiful. "No. Now go before I make you make you scrub the bathroom with your toothbrush again." At this, Naruto went purple in rage. "Why? It's not fair. I've been looking forward for this day for a year. I saved every penny allowance that the Hokage gave me. I could get myself a birthday present. It's not fair." As Naoto ranted, the Martin face became colder and colder. "Fine," she shouted, grabbing Naoto by the arm and dragging him through the orphanage at the front door. "You want fair? I'll give you fair. I'll give you better than fair. I'll give you more than you deserve to be. Happy birthday, demon," she was screaming at the time. As she got to the front door, she pulled him to the edge of the step and kicked him hard as she could in the gut, causing the young blood to roll down into the steps. You're not welcome here anymore, you demon." She turned around and slammed the door shut, making all the window in the first floor crackle. At least let me get my stuff," whimpered Naruto over the bottom of the step. It was too late already. They had caught to him up the rooftop. The two ninja followed him, had hit him with a half dozens of kunai and shuriken. One kicked him in the stomach again. If he had eaten anything today, it would have been thrown up by now. It was too late. They had caught him on the rooftop. As the ninja followed him, as had hit him half dozen shuriken. One kicked him in the stomach again. If he had "Hey, how much you wanna bet if I can cut his leg with one swing?" one of the ninja asked. The other had an evil grin spitting on his face. "In a half. 200 Ryo." "You can't," as the first one drew his sword. As he turned to the edge of the roof, trying to run away, he felt a shearing pain across his back and leg. As he only could do, he jumped. Naruto was not having a good time as he was sore, hungry, and poor. He tried to see the old man and tell him what happened today. The receptionist said that he was busy and wouldn't be able to see him for at least 3 days. And when Naruto tried to tell her it was urgent, she threatened to she threatened to call the armbo on him. Wandering to the street, wondering what the hell did he do to deserve all this, especially on his birthday. All things he hoped that he could help. He could get help from Shikamaru and maybe Choji. They could actually help him. He wished he knew where they lived. Maybe if they helped him, where which clan they're from, right? And big one. They were even clanier. Surely they could help him, right? But no, he was tired and hungry. Maybe he wouldn't able to take a short nap here behind the ramen stand. It smells so nice. Maybe if he was lucky, there would be some leftover he could eat. Ramen was his favorite food. He never got it in the orphanage, but occasionally Gigi would take him for lunch, as he would always pick ramen. As he lay there, the world span with each breath, as he didn't know what was wrong with him. But the shout from the five rooftop, five floor away, brought his attention back to the present. He tried to stand, but his injured leg gave out immediately. As they climbed down, began looking for him. Fear rose in his throat as he tried to get away. He did the only thing he could do. He crawled. Nato awoke with a snarl. Someone was kicking him. What was that for? He cried. Today was not just his day. He lost his home, his money. He was beaten twice so far, and he was starving. Oi, demon, what do you think you're doing here? A large, grim and smelly looking man growled to him. Well, I was trying to rest, but you started kicking me in the stomach. Hey, do you know where the festival started? Now his mind was prob. Strange jump from the topic at the best time of the when he was tired, hungry, cold, and sore. He didn't really care what people thought him as right now, but he hoped to see my friends there, cause I really need help with something. Before Naruto could continue, as a drunk kicked him twice. Demon don't have friends, brat. While Naruto was on the ground whimpering, Drunk took the last swing of sake bottle. Oh, I know. Let's play a little game of tag. The drunk brought now the empty bottle down on Naruto's head, kicking him on the street. Drunk bellowed, look here, boys! I found our very own fox. For our very own fox hunt. Run, little fox, run! Seeing the crowd, smelly drunk, they were looking evilly at Naruto as Naruto ran. It was no use. He couldn't move his body anymore. The evil man and surrounded him. They were kicking him, stabbing him. One pinned him to the ground while the pitchfork of another tried to gut him with a broken glass bottle. As the world faded, light dimmed, as the jeering calls of the mob echoed into gentle breeze, the bounce softened until he could imagine them as a soft raindrop. For a moment there was peace. As he did only thing he could do, he wept. And in the dark, something woke from the long slumber. A bright red eye opened for the first time in 7 years. It don't know what it could do. It called, and the child answered. Now to woke up what appeared to be a dark sewer. The water was barely inch deep, but rising rapidly. So Niggin, are you my jailer? So nigga, you my jailer? Come to good, you have you. The deep voice reverted through the tunnel, struggling to stand. Now to manage to raise himself in his hand and knees. Looking around, now to saw the bar of a huge cage stretching in front of huge cave. Naruto could see two red eyes glaring at him. I don't know who are you, where I am, what you want, how I got away from the mob, but I would never lock someone away. As Naruto spoke as he dragged himself over the cage. Wow, you're a big fox. Look like you could help me. Would you hide me from the evil man who wanted to kill me? You shouldn't cower in fear before the mighty Kyuubi no Kitsune. Shouldn't you cower in fear before the mighty Kyuubi no Kitsune? The Kiwi was puzzled. Never had anyone actually asked for its help. They either looked for his power from him or force him to do their bidding. What's a Kyuubi? Are they strong? Naruto asked with a blank look. Very. I'm the strongest Biju in all the land. In the mere flick of my tails, I can even level a mountain. 'Cause tsunami, the Kiwi bragged. Oh good, then please hide me, Kyuubi-san. Naruto then did what he would call think the stupidest thing ever, as he dragged himself into the Kiwi's cage. Stunned by the idiocy, the Kiwi forgot to crush him like an ant and watch as the stunned Naruto dragged himself over to his paw. You have a very soft fur, Kiwi Fox, and I think I'll take a little nap here. Naruto leaped onto the Kiwi's leg, cuddling like it was a big pillow. The Kiwi was in shock as he was the biggest, at least until the fourth sealed him halfway. Damn it. Baddest, angriest thing on the face of the earth, and the little mortal brat was using him as a pillow. The Kiwi eternal rant was cut off by a searing pain. It suddenly fell by blinking. Half of the light of the torch. It realized why the brat had come to this cage to hide. As the Kiwi looked through Naruto's eyes, as he found himself surrounded by the 20 angry drunk and weapon. His body mangled, his chakra was poised too poisonous to use much without killing the boy, and possibly himself. He wasn't sure. The Kiwi pushed as much as his chakra into the boy's injured leg as he dared to, stood shaking up. His eyes have gone red. One of the men shouted, "The demon is getting loose. Quick, kill it." The ninja with the sword drew weapon and approached the panting red-eyed child. Cowards, it's almost dead. I'll cut his head off with a swing and done with it. The Kiwi moved Naruto's body with a surprising speed, dodging the clumsy swing of the drunk Chunin. He grabbed the ninja's wrist with a sharp twist as broke it. Before anyone else could react, the Kiwi grabbed the ninja from the man's loosened up grip and ran him through with it. Leaving the sword in the man's stomach, the Kiwi jumped over to the group and ran for it, looking much as the looking, ignoring so much pain as fear as it could. It hurt. Oh, Kami, it hurt. He never felt like this before. Never felt fear like this before. Never felt pain like this before. Each moment was agonizing. The kunai shuriken, escaping against bone. He tied pitchfork in his shoulder. The head of the pitchfork on his shoulder. The glass bottle in his gut. Each breath was fire. Broken rib hands. Each awkward shuffling step was torture. It slashed through high thigh, hamstring him, but he couldn't stop. He ran. On the road from Tanzuki town, Konoha present day. "You're kidding me!" Tsunade yelled. "That kid did what?" Tsunade couldn't believe her eyes. Sure, people did some stupid thing, tried to survive, but slipping into what obviously a prison and cuddled with the giant fury fox was the whole level of stupid. How did he survive that? And how did you get the fox to let go of his body? Asked Shizune. Well, Jiraiya counted. The fox managed to keep them busy before any another 5 minutes so, or before me and the third managed to find a man. I never see senses so angry in all my life. Jorah was worried. Naruto and his 7-year-old grandson was missing. His room was trash, and no one claimed to be seen him today. At least there was a blood trail. Blood trail, that's good a sign. I should have taken him when he was still a baby. How did I let Sensei talk me into leaving him at the orphanage so I could keep running my spy network? Jiraiya dropped down from the roof of the orphanage into the backyard where you seen a Martin playing with some children. "Excuse me, miss, have you seen Naruto?" The little blonde boy with about this tall. Jiraiya frowned as a look of disgust flashed across the woman. "Naruto, there is now have been a boy named here now. Now please excuse me, I have children to look after." Naruto grabbed the woman's shoulder. "Are you sure, miss? You never heard of Uzumaki Naruto?" "I'm sure the third race would love to hear about this." Scowled woman grumbled. "I said I never saw a boy named Naruto here. I don't know why you're looking for the demon too. Maybe if you hurry and able to get some of that action. Last I heard that giving the hunter quite the chase. Take what you want as a trophy, but I have dibs on the head. It will look fabulous on my fireplace. Besides, I set up a little fox and so it's mine to ride to as organizer," the woman said smugly, noticing the look of shock horror. "The entry fee for the hunt is 50,000 ryo payable to Before she could finish, Julia sucker punched her in the gut, lifting her to the floor. That demon is my grandson. Julia growled, "You're coming with me, bitch." With that, Julia slung the unconscious woman as he is now forming in it for now there was forming in the mouth over his shoulder. The sunshine away to the sunshine away in the soaring leaves. Skiddling to the halt in front of the Hokage Tower, Jiraiya slumbered into the reception area. "Get me sensei, tell him it's about Naruto." This is I looked up the work. Actually, a game. Barely lifting an eyebrow, the sight of the large man. Naruto's already been here. I have told him I've set him an appointment in 2 weeks, knowing him whenever he can wait. By this point, Jiraiya pissed. As much as he hated that woman slung over his shoulder, the lazy bitch was now the number two of his shit list. Seeing the rage in apathy with the might have cost him the closest thing he had to the family. Jiraiya lashed out at the foot, catching the desk, flipping it over, reception head into the door behind her. Jiraiya stomped into the Sunday Hokage's office. Naruto gone missing. Apparently, the group of drunk decided to have themselves a fox hunt after this whore. He spattered, dropping the mutton on the floor. They said that Naruto wasn't welcome in the orphanage anymore. Before he could finish, Sato, who is in Sunman Hokage, was pulling out crystal ball through the head and seal, muttering a juice, and if something was wrong with his chakra, I can find him. Flashing through the another a set of hand seal, who doesn't readjust he readjusts crystal ball focus, sighing to relief as the ball reinforced was now to deceptive orange jumpsuit swinging into the view. Hokage said he's still alive. The tracking seal I placed on him is functional. A trailing of his eyes widened as the Kyuubi controlled Naruto struggled down in an alley where as many wounds obvious. "Kami, Jiraiya, we have to hurry. He's already half dead." Jiraiya Hokage cried out as he jumped from the chair as he leaped out from the window. Jiraiya catching up. Why the hat, Sensei? Despite the urgency of the situation, he was genuinely curious why Sensei grabbed the hat before running off. I want the receptionist and to witness, and I know what happened. You threatened one of Konoha's own. I'm not stopping them as now to Gigi. Hers and Sarutobi, but as Edmund Hokage's job was protect who those within Konoha's weight. For the first time in his long life, the Kiwi was tired. It had learned much in short time, controlling out his body. It had always knowing how to feel and hurt, but it was that was the thrill of hunt, not the terror of the hunted. It was something. It thought it had no pain, but compared to the boy's wound, the ceiling was bad as sendum. The ceiling was a bad sunburn, but the execution felt was now something that the cube had never experienced before. Its body was made out of pure chakra, so it wouldn't get tired ever. But now he was tired. It had run hard. As long as it could, the boy body couldn't take much more. It was taking all the cube's impressive control just to remain upright and walking. His vision was swimming from blood loss, so the cube didn't notice the alley he was in was dead end and stragged into the back wall, knocking himself down in process. After dragging himself upright, the cube looked toward the mouth of the alley and to see only the path to escape was cut off by the mob. Shit, what a way to go down, eh, nigga? The cube questioned. Not hearing a response, the cube looked at the seal. The cube saw the mortal brat moved his wrist and cocked his elbow, gently snoring. How could this villager confuse him with me? He looked about it, threatening as a newborn kid, unknown to the fox. New emotion had thrilled up. Now it thrilled up, fluttered through Naruto into him, clearing around the sleeping Naruto. The fox mumbled, "You're not bad for a mortal kid, but I wish I could have done more for you. But if I use my move, chakra, your body pathway would have exploded. Explode kind of depths. The whole purpose." The fox placed a large paw over Naruto's. "All I could do is now to make sure you're comfortable when you die." The physical world, Naruto's body collapsed against the wall, no longer having the strength to stand, deciding deciding that no one deserved to die alone. The fox prepared to enter Naruto's mindscape with a seal within. His eyes were now closing to spear bird in front of him. One white, another green. Blinking the sudden intuition the fox wondered was going on. Seeing them up through the crystal ball, seeing them in a person, they were two different things. The ball. Through the ball, you couldn't smell blood, fear from Naruto, or sake, smoke from Mob. They seemed to be landed, causing Jiraiya to be in front, the Hokage standing at the shadow, visible to the mob. Oh, what do you drink? You are leader of the mob slur. That's the demon fox. Get out, or we'll kill it. We'll be the one who made and everything. That despite the gravity of the situation, the man had asked who was it. It was polite to tell people the name of people who killed them. Beside his introduction, annoyed. As soon as he summoned Gamma, the Kiwi went back to seal normally and woke Naruto up. Hey kid, wake up. You don't miss this. You don't miss this. Rubbing his eyes, gurgling Naruto asked, what's going on? Smirking, the Kiwi pulled Naruto up as he could see through his eyes, trying to do the best to protect Naruto from the executing pain his body was in. After all, this looked promising. Who would want to miss something like this because you doesn't the kunai lash on your back? Jura and Gamma fell into the favorite pose. Thanks for asking, Mount Miyabuku Gamma Sanin, member of the legendary Sanin. The gallant Jiraiya paused momentarily, enjoying the confused look on their face. You better remember because the last thing you ever hear. The smarter one already trying to run. Oh no, don't you, Gamma and toad oil bullet. Jura sprayed the mob, including those who trying to escape with the thick and slimy oil, memorizing them who to come. Stepping into the side, the mob and the large number of people gathered around them to watch. Reasonable distance, all ninja were dangerous, and the one with the fog claimed to be the gallant Jiraiya. Could see who was standing behind him, whispered they saw the Hokage. It's the Hokage, we are saved. No, you fool, he has soft spots for the demon. What he's gonna do, arrest us? The council hates the demon more than we do. We'll get off it fine, hell. They even gave us meds if demons kicked it. Oh man, I knew it was bad. Bad idea, whispered that Danzo-sama have failed you, one in the back whispered. Jirai made a mental note to keep a close eye on the old warhawk, despite the anger clouded his vision. Eyes hurt to horizon, said Man Hokage, hearing the confession of the accursed sentence to immediate execution for the crime assault, battery, attempt murder on a minor, attempting to murder a clan heir, attempt to murder a clan head, attempt to genocide of a clan, violation of a S class secret, child abuse. The silence was devastating. The scream shattered. What clan? He's an orphan. One shouted. Another cried, Genodicea, there is only one of him. As the scream got louder, more and more people gathered on the road and crossed the alley, watched, waiting to see the sudden moment carried. Silence. Horizon bowed. Horizon shouted. I believe the most of this crime is self-explanatory and the obvious. However, let it be known, Uzumaki Naoto, the last of the Uzumaki of the Kuni. He is the direct descendant of the last clan head, which technically one clan heir crime against him are legally judged as if they are made against a clan head. And yes, he said to the man who claimed that there is only one of him. There is only one of him, as that's the last of the Uzumaki clan means. If you kill him, there will be no more of them, which is Genodicea. And now, for the time for your sentence to be announced, dead by burning. Beginning his arm as he began to hand seal. Slowly, as carefully answering each one he made, ram, horse, snake, dragon, rat, ox, tiger, cartoon, fire release, fire, dragon flame bullet. Most of the ninja watches as the bear backed up a good distance as the third seal. By the third seal, all the most monarchic civilian had backed up by the last. The screams could be smelled burning were horrible. Even some of the ninjas watched turn green. Many civilian had attempted to contain their stomach, but long before the scream died down, Jiraiya and Horizon gathered up to the barely conscious Naruto, Kyuubi, and Shunshin to the Konoha's General Hospital. We need a surgeon and a private room now. There's an S rank mission to pay to receive the successful rehabilitation of the patient. After the witness tonight, the Hokage had no faith in the people of the village. It came to Naruto. He appealed to the one thing he knew would work: their greed. Sitting up in operation room watching as the surge of blood busted around Naruto was the nearly panicking state when he was. Whether it was from concern or well-being of the patient or their wallet wasn't sure. It was a long night, both Jiraiya and Hokage. Inside Naruto's mindscape. So, you're the reason why everyone hates me? What did you do to piss them off so badly? Naruto and the fox were sitting in the seal talking about the things while they were waiting for Naruto's body to be healed enough for Naruto to ask the Hokage question about his past, his family. Even if it was the last one, he wanted to learn all about them. The Kyuubi had offered to tell him, but Naruto wanted the old man to explain why. He hadn't told him about his clan, so instead they were talking about why the village hated him so much, as the fox has gotten sealed inside of him. Well, when you were born, the seal that kept me in your mother's weakened enough for me to try to escape. Now to interrupt loudly, why, you know my mother? Wait. You said you were sealed inside her too? You don't know. I never really had talked to her much. She had me sealed up tighter than the Miser purse. So I don't know how much about her or your father, but the Hokage definitely knows. Added to the list of questions. You wanted to ask him anyway, kid. Don't you want to hear the test? Hear the test of the story. Rest of the story. Now to made a zipping motion before his as his lip was sealed. His eyes were shining with curiosity and chuckling. The Kyuubi continued, no interrupts, or I shall finish. I won't finish the story. When I was, oh yeah, where I was, oh yeah. I felt the seal weakening and tried to make my escape, cause her seal made you look like a day and a day at the beach. I'm not sure what happened, but after I was struggling, some dude with a cloak, with a funny mask, actually pulled me out from the seal. Before I could even blink, he activated Sharingan and used a genjutsu because the next thing I knew, the half of the village was destroyed and the fourth had summoned me to the woods where he stole my young chakra, sealed it in the Shinigami. I'll admit before he dumped my chakra, my yin chakra and my mind to you. I tried to kill you because I hadn't been free since the villager was founded. And it was always so hard to think when I'm not inside a physical body, but he and your mother blocked my car with your bodies before finishing the sealing. That's the last thing I really remember before waking up during your fight. Scratching his head, the Kiwi paused for a moment. Sorry about trying to kill you like that. My chakra is pretty potent and angry. It's always so hard to think straight without flesh, blood, body shading my mind, and so many questions. Just one, what's your name? I mean, it's rude to keep calling you Fox and Kiwi like a title, so you should have a name. And if you don't, I can give you one. After stopping to think for a moment, Kibi decided, you're the first person to ask my name since it was given. My name is Kuruma. Pleased to meet you. Naruto Uzumaki Naruto likewise. Naruto said, offering his tiny hand to Kuruma. Chuckling, Kuruma held out his pinky to the boy. Now get some rest before a busy day tomorrow. Next morning, Jura woke up with a start. Something was wrong with Naruto. He could tell, shaking his sense awake. He tried to see Naruto staring at him with bright red eyes. We need to talk before the kids wake up. Jora, we need to talk before the kids wake up. Jora eyes widen in panic. He rushed he rushed to Naoto's bed and yanked his shirt up. Sighing in relief, he found. Jura turned to the Hokage. The seals are fine. But now the fox is talking. I'm right here, nigga. I can hear you. Sensei, have you ever heard of the Jinchuriki seal acting like this? Ignoring the Biju, Jiraiya turned to the Hokage. Because I never heard of a rumor such a thing was possible. Kuruma uses brief flash of killing intent, catching the attention of the two. Ignoring me is before he could finish, the window shattered. A tall, silver-haired man breathed into the room. The dress was a standard Ambu uniform, black shinobi pants under the fucking is Kakashi. I sensed the QB killing intent from the building across the street. I came fast as I could. Now it is all right. The masked ninja sounded bored, but his mind he was still tense. Stand down, Inu. We are trying to figure out what happened to Naruto. You're still busting through the window like this. Seeing the forgotten Kuruma I twitch, you could have actually asked me. I'm still fucking here. Seeing the forgotten Kuruma's eyebrow twitched. You could just actually ask me, I'm here. Jump in the deep jump at the deep, almost demonic voice coming from the 7-year boy. What's going on, Okage-sama? Palming his face, Horizon said, how about we let the fox tell us what exactly going on? Finally, if the kid didn't like you so much, and we were actually able to move, I would have actually turned you two into geisel stain on the wall and floor. And silly calling for the ignoring me like that, the fox grumbled, momentarily forgetting why he was bothering to talk with the two. You wanted to know what happened last night, right? Well, start from the kids, either stupid or the craziest being or ever followed closely by your villagers. The king began to explain how Naruto was thrown out of the orphanage and attacked, nearly killed over the course of 10 hours. At this point, Inu interrupted, I told you Naruto should have always had the Anbu bodyguard. With his face with the hand of the Hokage, I'm sorry, and I promise after this I'll always have Ambus escorting him everywhere he goes. In fact, I'm willing to offer you the mission, long term, to make it a S rank. Now, Inu wasn't greedy person unless certain series of orange cover book were involved. He would have taken much mission if it was only B or C rank, but seeing the another author of his favorite series in the room, he decided to change a little extra. I'll do it, but I want autograph copy of every book I want the author copy of every book of each Paradise series. An advance copy of each book also autographed. Both Hokage sweat drop at this. You realize Jiraiya said slowly in the room in the tone voice use a small children mentally challenged. This with the amount of money you get from that long-term rank, you could buy thousands sets of my books, right? The QB interrupted. Don't you want to actually know what happened? At this rate, the kid's going to wake up before that I could finish what I have to say. Launching back into the story, Kurama continued. With the half-dead Naruto had entered the mindscape and actually caught into the seal. Now Kurama kept him alive until the Hokage and Jiraiya showed up. Now that's over with. Let's get to the reason I'm actually talking to you. This kid has a mile-long list of questions about his family. Answer them, or I will give you a second chance to make up to him. Don't waste it. Seems like the kid is waking up. Morning, Gigi. Who are the other two guys with you? Naruto yawned as he stretched his eyes, as his eyes were still red, still showing the QB was indeed listening in. Oi, brat, I am only 21. Who are you calling old? Blinking at the new piece of information, Naruto replied, really? Only 21, but your hair is already grey and everything. Eyebrow twitching behind his mask, Inu said, I'm gonna pretend you didn't call me my silver hair grey, and call me old because of it. make a terrible impression to kill my new change, especially in front of my boss. Less than a minute after I met him, whatever, Gigi, I have a ton of question for you. Last night you said I had a clan. I was direct descendant of the last clan head. Does that mean you know my pants are? Why didn't you tell me about my pants? What about Kurma? And you didn't know about him too. That was my clan. What was my clan good at? Where are they from? Why no one know about them? The Martin telling me the truth when she said my parents abandoned me because I was a demon. I do have family left. Easy, Naruto, easy. I guess this is we are gonna left off.